Today's theme and the theme of ArtsFund's campaign is how arts build community. And it's well established that arts build community in a multitude of ways, as an economic driver, in shaping civic identity, and in distinguishing cities from peer localities around the globe. But in the next few minutes, I'd like to focus on one particular way that arts build community, and that is by connecting people through the creation of emotional bonds and social networks. Why does this matter? How are these connections important? Sociologists, economists, urbanists, and social reformers alike recognize that a community benefits from the cooperation of all its parts, that the social cohesion brought about by a shared sense of community enables us to function more effectively and inclusively. Key indicators of strong social networks include participation in the political process, civic engagement, volunteerism, and philanthropy. But in the last several decades, this country has witnessed a concerning decline in this kind of behavior. Connections are further diluted as people spend more time buried in electronic devices than in actual conversations. As our population continues to evolve and diversify, silos emerge. And while some are experiencing unprecedented economic prosperity, others are struggling to make ends meet. These social, cultural, and economic divides are preventing us from being the best people and the best community we can be. To loosely paraphrase Robert Putnam, whose book Bowling Alone examines this issue of disconnectivity, the arts are one of those forces that can help transcend conventional differences and restore those positive social behaviors and connections. Putnam's premise is supported by a large body of research, including a number of studies from the NEA, and these studies show that people who participate in the arts are more likely to engage in those civic activities that have been on the decline. That engagement in the arts is directly correlated to one's likelihood to vote, volunteer, and engage in philanthropy. Several factors account for this. When we participate in the arts, we share in a live experience with people we might not otherwise meet. And in that shared experience, we laugh together, we cry together. If you had floor seats to hear Eli's Love, we dance together. We think and feel together as a community. The arts also touch our hearts, as we all know from personal experience, whether it's Alvin Ailey dance theaters, moving performance of Revelations, or the unforgettable songs from Come From Away. The arts tap into our deepest emotions and remind us of our shared humanity. The arts also open our minds, and last year's keynote speaker, Stephen Tepper, spoke to this. Tepper encouraged us to choose creativity over fear in overcoming the challenges in this age of unprecedented anxiety. Fear closes our minds and causes us to look down and inward, whereas creativity inspires us to look up and out so that we can break down barriers and lessen divides. Finally, the arts provide a lens through which we can see the world from a different perspective in a non-prescriptive, non-threatening way. For anyone who attended the thought-provoking figuring history exhibit at SAM or saw Amy Thone's powerful and haunting performance of Shylock in Seattle Shake's Merchant of Venice, we could not help but think and feel something in those experiences, some feeling of deep anguish or indignation or inspiration, and perhaps from that develop a slightly better understanding of ourselves and of each other. I mentioned at the outset of my remarks that fostering social cohesion is just one of the ways that arts build community. The arts help our kids succeed in school and beyond. The arts promote health and healing. The arts develop those skills necessary for the next gen workforce: collaboration, critical thinking, communication, curiosity. But the arts cannot do all of these things alone. Our arts groups and our artists literally cannot survive on respect and admiration alone. They need our support. We understand that the arts are not the only thing that make this region the extraordinary place that it is. But this region would not be the extraordinary place that it is without the arts. We understand that arts alone will not eliminate the harmful barriers and divides between us, but no one sector can achieve that alone. The complexities of today's most pressing issues are far too great, the multiple stakeholders and interests too intertwined for anyone to effectively operate in isolation anymore. So as we at ArtsFund look ahead at our next 50 years of our organization, of the arts, and of this community, we commit to deepening and strengthening our partnership with all of you, inside the arts, outside of the arts, with private, public, and philanthropic leadership, and with everyone in this room and in this region who is committed to making us the best people and the best community we can be. Thank you.